Right, to start part 2 of my video here, I'm still with the Ford Fiesta. I promised part 2. The issue is the clocks. They are not showing mileage and other things. So what I'm doing here, I'm now doing the tests. I'm going to use an oscilloscope, a voltmeter, and try and figure out where the problem is. Is it the wiring? Is it the clocks themselves? So what I've done here, I've come to the battery, just under the bonnet. There I have my voltmeter connected, and as you can see, I've been using the battery. So at the moment the clocks plugs are not connected, so I was going to run it, so that it shows full voltage, but we'll work with what we have. So 12.2. A fully charged battery should be 12.6, but anyway, for test purposes, I think I'll be able to get away with it. I'll put a battery maintainer as well, just to make sure that this battery is charged, so that whenever I'm checking inside, I want you to be able to know the source voltage, and then we can compare with that. So let's get started and probe this together. So this is the big plug. It has got 32 pins. That's the one that you find behind the clocks. There are two plugs. This is the big one with 32 pins. The other one has got 12. So we're going to dwell more on this pin here. You see, I've pulled it out from the cover, so that I can do a few tests here. And you see, this is, I don't know whether if I can zoom in. Yep, that's pin 32. I think you can see at the corner of the screen there. That's 32, 17 from the start, and then we've got 1 to 16 this side. So what I want to do is to use a wiring diagram that I have to do tests here. I'm doing voltage tests. So I'll go to the wiring diagram and show you what I'm trying to achieve here. So this is what I want to do here. That's my wiring diagram. As you can see, that 32 pin plug that I show you, that's the one that you show here. It says instrument panel cluster. So it goes in there, and then we have got 3 fuses here. If you check fuse 22, which is 7.5 amps, it's hot all times. So which means then whether the ignition key is on or off, this fuse will always be showing 12 volts. So if we go to that, if we tap into that wire there, it's a brown and red wire. As you can see, it's brown and red. We tap into that, and it is pin number 32. So we are going to go into that. We're going to check that pin there and see with the ignition key off and see what we get. Then, if you check, there's another 7.5, which is fuse number 15. But it says here hot in run, okay, or ACC, okay. So that's when the ignition key is on, or you are on accessories, that will show 12 volts. So that's a brown and blue, and that wire there it will be pin 15 on that 32 pin plug. It'll be 15. Then we've got also pin 4, which is fuse number 13, hot in start or run. Okay, so what we want to do here, by going to this instrument panel cluster plug, I am trying to check the integrity of these wires that run from the fuse to the instrument cluster. And I'm also checking the integrity of the fuses. So instead of going to the fuses, I can just check here. I will be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's what I want to do. I'll start with pin 32, which is fuse number 22, and then see if we have got power on that. I am on pin 32 right now. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go and see what our multimeter is off. Just go back again and it on. Right, that's it on. So we can come here. Sorry, I'm holding the camera on one hand, and so that's me on pin 32. So there is 12.29 volts. So which means that fuse number 22 is good. The wires that run from fuse 22 to the module, they are also good, right? So we have just done two things there in one. So I'll go to the next pin. So the next pin is pin 15, and it's not hot all the time, so we have to turn the ignition key on. So I'm on it right now with the ignition key off. You can see that's the voltage that we have. So what I'm going to do, I'll turn the ignition key on and then see what happens. Now my ignition key is on. That's the voltage that I have. So fuse number 15 and the wires that run from fuse number 15 to the module, they are good. So the last one is fuse number 13, and it goes to pin 4 on our instrument cluster. So that's what we're going to check with the ignition key on. I'm on pin 4. There's the battery voltage. Dropped a little bit, but all the same, we have battery voltage here. Now the ignition key is on. Mind you, I've disconnected other things, but yes, we have a little bit of voltage drop there. I'm not actually concerned about that at the moment. So these three wires, these three fuses, they are good. We have just proved here that fuse number 22, fuse number 15, fuse number 13, and the wiring diagrams and the wiring, they are all good. So the module is being powered okay. So what we want to do now, we want to check the ground. So pin 6 on the module is our ground. Okay, that's a black and blue, or it can be blue or black. Okay, that's our ground. So we want to go and check our ground and see what we have. I'm gonna check this ground with the ignition key on. This is the reading that we have for our ground. I'm happy with that. Okay, that's pin 6. I am happy with that. So powers and grounds confirmed, good. So having established that my powers and grounds were good, I changed direction. I wanted to check the communication systems. And so what I did, I came on here, pin 5 and pin 6, and that's on the small plug, which has got 12 pins. Okay, so that's my CAN high, my CAN low, and then what I did, then I tapped into these two here, and I managed to get a waveform out of that, and that's the waveform that I'm going to show you now. The other thing that I want to say whilst I'm here is that if I had wanted to establish, just to use a different method, if I wanted to establish if my high-speed CAN was correct, I could use this DLC here. My pin 6 is CAN high, my pin 14 is CAN low, and if I check resistance on those two pins, I should get 60 ohms. If I get anything above 60 ohms, then there's something that is wrong. There could be a resistor, a terminal resistor that is corrupted. So that's another way. Or I could have just used a breakout box and checked my line voltages, which should be 2.5 CAN. The CAN system is a 5-volt system, so when it is at rest, it should be showing the same voltage, 2.5. Okay, but I chose just to come onto this module here and check it here, and then I managed to get a pattern. This is what I got. Okay, that's my high-speed CAN. That's what I got, and to be honest with you, I'm happy with that. I'll show a live video of me doing that. I'm very happy with that. You can see my CAN high is 3.5, and my CAN low is about 1.5, which is good to me, and everything mirrors, so I'm not worried about the noise that you see. I'm happy with this diagram here. Then I checked the low speed CAN. According to Autodata, they call it VAN, which is van, and then this is what I came up with. Okay, that's the pattern that I came up with, and I'm also happy with that. Went on Autodata, and then I managed to get the CAN bus wires. So what I have here, I have the picoscope, and the channel A is my CAN high, and channel B is my CAN low, and then I've got the instrument cluster this side, as you can see, and I'm on the small plug, the one with let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, it's 12 pins in total. So the CAN high wire is the blue and white wire. That's your CAN high, okay, and my CAN low is the white wire. So those two wires are communication wires, and that's where I have tapped into, and I am able to then show you this pattern on the screen. As you can see, my communication system is clean, really clean. 1.5 from the CAN low, 3.5 from CAN high, and I cannot complain. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can manage to stop that, so that maybe we can have it. There you go, that's it, stopped. Surely that is clean. I do not see anything wrong with that. There is a VAN system, communication system as well. But like I said in my first video, that if it was the if it was the CAN system, we would have a fault code. We would have a trouble code straight away on the scan tool. But you saw that we went through all the computers, including the instrument cluster, nothing. No fault codes that were there. It didn't record any. So I'm happy with this. I am very happy with what I'm getting from the CAN high and CAN low. And so what I'm going to do, I'll try the lower bus. This is the high speed bus. So I'll try the lower bus and see if it is going well as well. When I'm checking the VAN system, this is the communication that I'm getting, and it looks, I'm not using a trigger at the moment. Let me see if I can trigger it. You can see that it is clean. There is nothing here that I can suspect. It looks okay to me. It looks clean. Look at that pattern there. Everything is uniform and clean. So, as far as the communication system is concerned, everything seems to be okay. There's something that I observed when I removed this clip here. Let me see if I can focus that. That's the one. Oh dear. Yep, that's it, clear. When I removed this, I want to believe that there is a pin that is not sitting right. Because when I push the connector down by hand, I seem to get my mileage back. So I'll pull out the connections here. I'll take out these connections so that I can show you. So remember, we have got two. There is that big one here, but all our communication systems are this side. And so we've been using that blue and white, and then also the white one, the complete white wire, and also the purple and orange, and also purple and orange, and then orange and gray. So those are the 4 wires that I have tested, because one is the VAN system, the other one is the CAN system. So both of them seem to be working fine. But whenever I went to press that down, having taken the housing out, I have noticed that sometimes the mileage comes on. So at the moment there is nothing there. Let me do it again. If you check clearly here, from the top row from my left, 1, 2, they are blank. 3 and 4, you can see metal in there. 5 and 6, they are blank. Then we go at the bottom, 1 and 2, you can see the pins in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, they are blank. 5 and 6, Something is interesting here. I don't know whether it's my focus. The other pin, you can the 61, you can see it clearly, but that other one, the number 5 one, which is that brown, you know, that brown and violet, you can't see it clearly. So could this be where my issue is? Is there poor contact on these, on that you know, orange and violet wire? Is there my, I would want to investigate that. I don't know, I could be wrong, but just judging by observation, it looks like there is an issue there. So I'll take it out and see if I can compare the two and see if they are the same. So my next step was to come to, you know, back again on the module here, on the instrument cluster. And I wanted to check if the trip computer switch was working, if it was getting power and the ground was okay. But in order for me to do this, I had to connect all the plugs back again onto the clocks. Then when I came here, now I found power here, and I checked my ground, and the ground was perfectly fine. And I can show you the plug. That's the plug. That's it here. Okay, it goes in there. Okay, so if you go in there and check, you can go in there and check pin number 3, and pin number 3 will be your power that is supplied by the module, and then you have pin number 9, which is your ground, and everything tested fine. So now I knew that all my wiring was correct. I knew from there that, you know what, I need to go back and concentrate on the clocks themselves. The reason why I took that decision was, remember, if you go watch my first video, please watch the first video if you want to understand the direction of the second video. When I was pushing on the clock with my finger, I managed to get a response, right? The mileage came up, the temperature came up. All right, so that was an indication to me that something was either loose. You will hear me in that video saying, I suspect something is loose here. Something is, well, whether it was a ground or power or something, there was a connection. And this is where I want to go now. I'll go to the clocks and you know, end my video there. So I have shown you all the tests that I did and how I made my decision to go and concentrate on the clocks. By the way, I was talking to a friend who works for Ford, and he told me that yes, they have replaced these before, and he told me that, you know what, the best thing is just to replace with new clocks. So I phoned the dealership, and it was 500 and something pounds plus VAT, which is roughly 600 and something pounds. So with that kind of money, you know, you are thinking, hang on here, you want to make sure that you're making the right call. So you do all diligence, you make sure that you do all your tests right, because you don't want to fit a 600-pound module and the problem is still there. So I did now my investigations, observations, just to see why was I pushing, when I pushed the clocks, the lights came on, the mileage came back, So this is where I'm going now. So what I'm doing here, I want to right. So here's what I discovered. Every time I touched this part here, every time I touched that part, okay, when I pushed there, the mileage came on. Every time I touched, the mileage came on. So when I pushed it that way, the mileage came on. So what I did was I put a spacer here, okay? Don't know if the cameraman, yeah, I put a spacer here. That's the spacer that I put in there. And with that, I connected all the connections, put back everything, and the clocks are working sweet. So now, when I checked that, why there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one is a power that's 5 volts. The next one is 5 volts. The next one is 5 volts. And then we have a ground. Then we have 5 volts and then a ground. So we have got 2 ground wires here. So pin from the right going to my left, pin 1 is power, 2 is power, 3 is power, then 4 is ground, 5 is power, 6 is ground. So we have got 2 wires that are the ground wires. So if I push on this side of the screen, there's something wrong with this screen here. That's one thing that I haven't determined. I tried to open the clocks at the back. Okay, I pulled that cover out. Still, I couldn't determine anything. But what I noticed was, as long as I push the screen that way, the clocks worked okay. So for me to prove this to you now, I'll have to build back these clocks, put everything together, and then see if everything is working. Then I'll drive the vehicle, turn the ignition key on. Now, when I open the door, the clocks, the mileage shows, which it wasn't doing before. So you can put your comments, down there if you have got experience with this. I would like to hear from you. Please share information here and tell me what you think is the problem. What I know with the dealers, they just throw this in the bin, okay, and fit a new one. But I just didn't want to do that. So the owner of this vehicle, that's my friend. It's actually my friend's daughter. She owns this vehicle. It's up to her, to choose to leave it like this and use it like this, or to put a new one. What I was going to do, I was going to go to the scrapyard and try and maybe find clocks like this and try and investigate further, because what I don't have, so if someone has got this information, please share that with me. What I don't have is, I don't know what these powers that I've been telling you and the grounds, what they do, what are they for? Okay, because here, on this LCD here, you see temperature, you see mileage, you see, fuel consumption. You also see gear change. It prompts you when you're in a gear to say, right, you need to change to the upper gear now. So all that is in here. So what I don't know, the wiring diagram that I have is limited. It's not giving me all the information in order to go into checking what exactly each of these wires do. I would like to know that. I'm just one person who doesn't want to fix something, and yet I'm not still quite clear as to what I did. This is what is happening here. I'm happy that this is working, because this vehicle is going for MOT very soon, and so I'll hear from the owner. Does she want to spend £600 for new clocks, or will she say, hey, just leave that that space in there, and I'm happy as long as the thing is working? So please give me your comments. You tell me what you think I should do here. What would you have done, you as a technician? What would you have done? Please look through the steps that I followed on my video, and advise me if maybe I left out something that could have revealed what exactly is causing that problem there. But look, don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, and like the video as well. Please comment. I'm willing to hear your comments. I hope this video will be fascinating to so many people, because I don't think there's anything of this nature on YouTube. So here you are. Together, this is what we have come up with. Let's work as a community and help each other here, and share knowledge so that we can be better off. I appreciate you. I thank you. Thank you for using my channel, and please always subscribe. Thank you. So there you go. That's everything working normal, and what I'm waiting for now is to hear from the owner of the vehicle if they want to purchase new clocks. Definitely, if they are going to purchase new clocks, then I'm going to do the third video, because the third one I'll be showing the programming of the clocks. So I'll come back to you and update you as to the way forward. But for the meantime, this is where we are. Everything is working accordingly, and what I'm doing now, I'm just doing a global scan here, because of I had the ignition key on with plugs disconnected. So I just want to make sure that every fault code is cleared, because if you go to the first video, remember we had no fault codes at all. So now we do have quite a lot. It's because I had disconnected the plugs. So there you go. The last thing now, the next thing is to wait for the owner of the vehicle to give me the go-ahead as to what to do next. Do they want new clocks, or they are happy with what we have done? And the interesting thing is, if they choose to go with what we have done, how long is it going to hold? Look, any changes, I'll be there to update you, so that at least we can share these things. And tomorrow it could be you having the same issue. Don't hesitate to tap into this video and learn how we did this. So remember to subscribe to my channel, and please click that notification bell. It's always a pleasure to see your comments, and to see you clicking that, giving us more likes. So appreciate you all for your time, for the time you have taken to watch this video. We'll be posting many more, because we just want to use this platform for educational purposes. Thank you.